spent hours playing and watching gameplay of every single My Hero Academia game I could find. And today, I'm going to be ranking them from worst to best. Let's kick off with My Hero Academia Smash Tap, which hit mobile devices in 2016. You take your character through various missions, battling waves of enemies by tapping your way to victory. Literally. The controls are pretty simple, just tap to attack. This game features single player and multiplayer modes where you could team up with friends to take on tougher enemies. As far as characters go, Smash Tap had a decent roster. Each character had unique abilities that mimicked their quirks from the actual anime. All Might's punches felt powerful, Baku's explosions were chaotic, just like in a series. But here's where things started to go south. The gameplay felt repetitive. You'd think all the tapping will get you in some kind of rhythm, but it quickly becomes just mindless tapping, and without much variety in missions and objectives, you're essentially doing the same thing over and over. Missions where your whole objective was to destroy cars was also not very helpful. Unfortunately, without much depth or challenge, Smash Tap didn't keep players engaged for long, and it was ultimately shut down in 2020. The lack of depth in gameplay and the game's early closure kinda left the fans unhappy. This is exactly why I'm gonna put it at F tier. Next up, we got My Hero Academia Battle for All, released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2016. This one actually had the potential to be pretty good. It's a 3D action game where you could take control of your favorite heroes and villains from My Hero Academia and battle your way through various missions. The character roster featured most of the main cast, including Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, All Might, each with their own moveset based on their quirks. You progress through the story mode, which loosely followed the events of the anime's first season. The battle takes place in 3D arenas, and you can use each character's unique quirk abilities to gain an edge. For instance, Deku can use One for All for power packaged attacks, while Bakugo's explosions give him an aggressive edge in a battle. Plus, you could do a bit of training and level up your character's skills to get stronger as you progressed. Controls felt clunky, making it hard to pull off satisfying combos. And once you completed the story modes, there wasn't much else to do. The lack of replayable content, limited customization, and easy difficulty left players wanting more. The gameplay didn't evolve beyond the basic 3D fighting formula, making Battle for All feel like a missed opportunity to bring My Hero Academia to the 3DS. It just did not bring any excitement towards the fans. Also, I think it's noteworthy that this game only released in Japanese, and that's why it's gonna be a D tier. Moving on, we got a more controversial game, and it's Jump Force. Now before you guys attack me, it's not a My Hero game. They have quite a few My Hero characters, which is why I'm including it. Jump Force, which launched back in 2019 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, brought together characters from My Hero Academia alongside with the biggest names in anime like Naruto, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. On paper, Jump Force sounded like a dream come true, especially for anime fans. But despite the hype around its release, the game doesn't fully deliver. The best thing Jump Force has going for it is its sheer crossover appeal. Seeing Deku fight alongside Goku or Naruto is a huge thrill, and Jump Force does a good job of making these battles feel epic. The roster is massive, including characters from over 16 popular anime series, so there's a lot of choice for players who love to experiment with different teams and fighting styles. The graphics go for a realistic look, which has a unique edge, and the special moves and ultimates look pretty flashy. However, Jump Force struggles in a few major ways. The gameplay itself is pretty shallow and can get repetitive quickly. While the animations are fun to watch, the controls lack the depth and fluidity of other fighting games, which hurts replayability. There are also some serious issues with the story mode. While it brings in an original plot, the pacing and dialogue feels off, making it more of a chore than a fun experience. Plus the visuals don't always hold up. The realistic style is a hit or miss at certain times. Sometimes it even looks awkward. We all know that Jump Force is not the best game out there, but we still know that it was very enjoyable, especially when we first started playing the game. And for that reason, I'm still gonna put it at C tier. Next up, we have My Hero Academia Ultra Impact, which landed on mobile platforms in 2021. This game takes a turn towards turn-based RPG style, focusing on strategic battles that let you build your dream team of heroes and villains from the My Hero Academia universe. The game is designed to appeal to fans of the series by incorporating elements from the anime and manga, like special moves that feel authentic to the characters. Plus, the graphics are vibrant and really capture the essence of the anime style, making battles visually engaging. Another plus is the overall accessibility of the gameplay. Being a mobile game, it's easy to pick up and play during a short session. However, the turn-based combat is kind of a drawback. While it's strategic, it can also feel slow, and the lack of intensity that many players are looking for, especially if they're used to fast-paced action arena games, are lacking. The game can also become grindy as you progress. Leveling up characters and acquiring resources requires a lot of time, which can turn off some players who prefer more streamlined experiences. It also has a heavy focus on in-game microtransactions, which create kind of a pay-to-win atmosphere, which is very frustrating. If you have a mobile and love My Hero, just give it a try. Ultra Impact definitely is promising and it's fun and engaging. And to conclude, I'm gonna put it at a B tier. Finally, the budget for these games have increased because we're talking about My Heroes Once Justice, which came out in 2018 for not just mobile or Nintendo, but PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and the PC. Having the control over your favorite My Hero characters and fight it out in fast-paced battles in a 3D arena changed the game for My Hero video games. One of the standout features of Once Justice is its combat system. The game focuses on the 3D arena battles, which allows for fluid movements and dynamic fighting styles. You can pull off some insane combos. The gameplay feels satisfying, especially when you can land those powerful special moves or team up with your sidekick to unleash devastating attacks on your enemy. Another strong point is the character roster. With a mix of heroes and villains from the series, you've got a lot of options for creating your dream team. Each character feels unique with different abilities that reflect their quirks from the anime, making it fun to experiment with different matchups and strategies. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows because one of the main drawbacks is the story mode. While it tries to capture the essence of My Hero Academia's plot, the execution can feel a bit lackluster. The cutscenes are great, but the actual gameplay segments can become repetitive and the pacing can be off, especially for players looking for a more engaging narrative experience. Additionally, while the graphics are decent, they don't quite capture the full spirit of the anime. Some animations can feel stiff and the environments are a bit lacking in detail. This might not bother everyone, but for those who are used to stunning visuals of modern fighting games, it can be a bit disappointing. Whilst Once Justice was a great debut into the arena fighter-like games from My Hero Academia, I still think it fell short due to the lack of depth in the gameplay and lack of content. But still, I think it deserves a B spot. Finally, for our last mobile game, we got My Hero Academia: The Strongest Hero, which was released in 2020 on mobile. This game mixes RPG and action elements, letting you roam in a semi-open world, complete quests, and fight enemies using the quirks of fan-favorite heroes. For a mobile game, it's packed with features that does a solid job of bringing the My Hero Academia world to life. One of the biggest pros of The Strongest Hero is its open world experience. You're not just fighting in an arena, you actually get to explore the city, complete missions, and encounter other players. It has a fresh dynamic and you can jump into battles on the go and enjoy the sense of being a hero. The combat is also surprisingly detailed for a mobile game. The game's graphics and animations are sharp and eye-catching, giving you that satisfying feeling of unleashing flashy moves in a battle. But, like many mobile games, The Strongest Heroes has its downsides. The biggest issue is the heavy reliance on in-app purchases. So unless you spend countless of hours farming coins, you're not progressing as fast as you could. We all know how frustrating microtransactions are, especially in mobile games, and it feels like you're progressing at the speed of a snail unless you pay. Everybody's gonna have a blast exploring the open world, but you'll get tired of it, so once that wears off, you're left with just normal mediocre quests and battles that can start to feel a little bit grindy. If you're looking for a My Hero mobile experience, Strongest Hero is definitely worth a shot, and the gameplay just slightly is better than Ultra Impact in my opinion, which is why I'm gonna put it at A tier. Okay, now we're talking My Hero Ultra Rumble, probably the game I've been addicted to for the longest out of this list. My Hero Ultra Rumble is the newest addition to the My Hero game lineup, which was released in 2023 on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. It is a battle royale game, making it unique and separating it from the other games in the series, throwing you into a massive free-for-all with 24 players, each controlling a different hero or villain. It's all about using your character's quirk to outsmart and outlast the competition, which makes it an exciting addition to the My Hero game world. It really took the battle royale aspects of other games and just made it better. There are so many characters from the anime and they keep adding new ones, 1 or 2 per season, and the existing characters like Deku, Bako, and Shigaraki, they get new quirk skill sets so they can use new abilities within the game. We need to talk about the gacha system. It has a gacha system which is insanely rigged and you have to be really lucky to get the newest characters, quirk skill sets, or costumes. The other drawback is that the game can feel limited in terms of content. The battle royale concept is fun, but once you've played several matches, the maps and objectives can start to feel repetitive. Plus, Since it's still a new release, there are occasional bugs and balancing issues that need smoothing out. Although My Hero to Rumble is one of my favorite games of all time, I still think some tweaks are needed to make this game an S tier, which is why it's gonna be A tier. Heroes Battlegrounds on Roblox. You heard that right. It's a fan-made game that might surprise you because it is huge within the My Hero Academia community. I think it got the most active players out of any My Hero game, probably combined. It combines the open-ended fun of Roblox with an intense, quirk-filled battle inspired by the anime, making it incredibly popular despite its simpler graphics and design. The main appeal of Heroes Battlegrounds is its fast-paced and creative gameplay. Each character has unique quirks, with familiar moves like Deku's Detroit Smash or Todoroki's Ice Attacks, which makes each fight feel unique. The game has also been updated regularly, and the developers seem to be listening to the player feedback, so the game is constantly improving. Plus, Roblox platform allows for quick matchmaking and accessible gameplay, so fans can jump in and play without much hassle. Another huge positive is how easy it is to play with friends. The game's multiplayer capabilities are strong, and because it's on Roblox, which is a huge game, it's available on a ton of devices, like every single device you could think of, making it super accessible. And just like the last game My Hero to Rumble, this one's free to play, so players don't have to worry about spending money to have a great experience. Downsides are that as a Roblox game, it doesn't have high-end graphics, and the visuals might feel underwhelming compared to console games. Additionally, because it's fan-made, it lacks the polish of a professional release, so you might encounter a few bugs or balancing issues, but for the most fans, these are minor complaints, and when you consider how much fun the game can be, you just ignore it. Heroes Battlegrounds is not a big game, but it does surprisingly have a huge community on Roblox that loves to play it, and with its constant updates, I think it is a great contender for S tier. Now we reached our final game, My Hero One's Justice 2. It released in 2020 for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC, and it is a sequel to Once Justice and took everything the first game did well and amped it up, giving us an awesome 3D arena fighter that brings the My Hero Academia experience to life in the best way possible. The combat in Once Justice 2 is even more refined than in the first game. The battles feel fast-paced, intense, and most importantly, they look amazing. Each character's quirk is faithfully recreated, so fans can really feel like they're controlling their favorite heroes and villains. The roster got a big expansion in the sequel too, with over 40 characters to choose from, each with unique moves and abilities. It adds a ton of variety and makes every match feel different depending on who you're playing. The game also has a great and long story mode, which is a great addition for fans who want to relive some of the show's iconic moments, and even though it's not perfect, it's still fun to see it all play out in the game's unique style. On the downside, the story mode still feels a bit underwhelming compared to the other fighting games with deeper narratives, and it can feel repetitive, as if you're not fully invested in the anime's plot. The online multiplayer also has its share of issues with lag and matchmaking problems, which can be frustrating for players looking for smooth, competitive matches. My Heroes Once Justice 2 was a big step forward from its prequel counterpart, and I think its solid mechanics, explosive fights, and memorable character roster makes it deserve the S tier. Now we're done with the ranking, and this is what the tier list looks like. Make sure to tell me if you agree or not in the comments. So I hope this brought you new perspectives on all the games from My Hero Academia, and make sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree with my tier list. And even though there's barely any games, there's a battle royale, there's an arena fighting game, and there's a mobile game. So you're definitely going to find one game you resonate with. If you want to suggest any other game series that I should analyze and make a tier list of, let me know down in comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.